We have now covered almost all of the fundamentals which combine to make a functional electric vehicle. It's a good time to summarize what we have already seen. What we can do is zoom out of the scene and look at the vehicle from a higher level. This is how the architecture of an electric vehicle will look like. The diagram is very self-explanatory. We will discuss certain nuances of EV design with the type of architecture. The one certain distinguishing parameter is the operating voltage. To put it in simple terms, for the same power, which is the product of voltage and current, we can reduce the current by increasing the voltage of our system. The output power will remain within the same band when we discount the efficiency. We can markedly see a trend of vehicles moving towards higher voltage with each passing day. It is actually more of manufacturers trying to move away from higher currents than trying to increase the voltage. The motive is reducing currents while increase in voltage is a consequence. Let us find out why OEMs are doing what they are doing. Higher current can straight away be related to more lossy system. Heat losses are in direct squared relationship with current. A system will be lossy fourfold when we increase the current to twice its initial value. The heat produced is also to be dissipated, which requires an even more robust cooling system, or else we will end up with limiting our peak powers. The peak power numbers will only remain on paper, as every time you push the limits, it will become less likely to reach those same peaks again. Another upside of reduced current is reduced size of wires. While such reduction might seem inconsequential, smaller diameter wires are lighter and can be easily routed. Shedding a few kilos of weight will always assist in increased range for the car. We have some data on the table. Compare a 2020 Porsche Taycan Turbo S running on 800 volt architecture to a 2020 model Tesla Model S Performance, which sustains on a 400 volt architecture. Both machines are of similar power band, with the German manufacturer's car generating up to 560 kilowatt, while the American OEM's car can peak at 580 kilowatts. Acceleration tests for quarter miles were done. That adds up to around 400 meters. 15 such tests were done consecutively with no room for breathing between two tests. We can clearly see the two marked trends where the Model S starts to compete on even grounds with in run 1 and even in run 2. But since while outputting the same power at the wheels, it's pushing roughly double the current because of it having the half the voltage. Thus, not getting into specifics, we are estimating that the heat generated will be 4 times that Taycan generated. A superior motor design might offset this loss, but the variation will be in percentage terms and will never completely overshadow this vast contrast. Now, since this heat cannot be dissipated within the given time, the motor power starts to derate. The Model S simply can't achieve the same power it did when it was cool, while the Taycan keeps on producing a robotic performance where it holds good and maintains its power ratings, degrading just a little at the fag end of the test. While even high voltages have some of their own downfalls, since the fundamental block of our battery, which is the cell, is going to remain the same even for higher voltage systems, the spread of SOC over voltage is going to increase even further. A 72 volt system made from NMC chemistry cells will have voltage ranging from 84 volt to fully charged state, and about 56 volt at 0% SOC, which is completely discharged state. The voltage variation in voltage ranges to 28 volts. Now, a 72 volt system made from the cells of the same chemistry will have its maximum voltage at 840 volt and its lowest at 560 volt. Now all of our components need to be designed for a variation of 280 volt, which is an insane variation to manage. In normal operating conditions, an EV owner should be rest assured about the safety of the vehicle and damage in terms of electrical terms thanks to the rigorous testing and validation exercise before a vehicle becomes road legal. But there will always be edge cases, especially during road crashes. When the architecture shifts to higher voltage, it also warrants higher safety. The severity of electrocution will be higher than lower voltage, and thus systems need to be introduced to reduce the frequency of these incidents.